Gentleman is recognized. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the gentlewoman from Florida for her leadership on this important issue, your leadership with America's foreign policy. I know that my constituents all the way up in New York are more secure and free due to your work through the years here in the halls of Congress, so I thank you for your leadership. This past weekend, we celebrated the 4th of July, 239 years since America declared its independence. What makes America great is what we stand for: freedom and liberty. And then there's Iran, the world's largest state sponsor of terror, a nation overthrowing foreign governments, unjustly imprisoning United States citizens, including a United States Marine. Iran blows up mock U.S. warships, develop ICBMs. They pledge to wipe Israel off the map. And in their streets, in their halls, they are chanting death to America. And none of what I just described is even part of the negotiations. Think about that. The president says the only alternative to whatever deal he presents us with is war. I reject that. The deal the president is finalizing may actually pave the path to more instability in the Middle East and a nuclear arms race triggered in the region. Will the agreement be accurately translated between both languages? If the president presents Americans with a version in English, and the Iranians are interpreting any different terms, refuting our interpretation of this agreement in English, then there's no agreement. There's no meeting of the minds. Will Iran continue spinning centrifuges, enriching uranium, and maintaining any of their nuclear infrastructure? Will weapons inspectors have unfettered access to Iran's nuclear infrastructure? Honestly, I doubt it. I believe that we're propping up the wrong regime in Iran. 6 years ago, the Green Revolution, millions of Iranians took to the streets protesting after an undemocratic election. The economy in Iran was doing better at that time than it is today. Oil twice the value as today. The president said that what was going on in Iran was none of our business, and look where we are today. I unapologetically love my country, and I am proud to be an American. As elected officials who took an oath to protect and defend our Constitution, we have a responsibility to protect our country. We must fight on behalf of our great nation, which generations before us have fought and sacrificed so much to protect. And that is how we celebrate another 239 years of American exceptionalism. The president, when sitting down at the negotiating table, inherits the goodwill of generations, centuries of men, women who have come before them that have sacrificed so much to make America the greatest nation in the world. When someone says they want to run to be president of the United States, with that, you inherit all of that goodwill, all of that American exceptionalism. And when sitting at the table, you have no business trying to equalize yourself with the person you are negotiating with. That isn't your goodwill to expend. It's important for American greatness to grow. And I'm concerned that we are on pace to enter into a bad deal with Iran. Here with the leadership of colleagues like the gentlewoman from Florida, who I'm very grateful for putting together this special order tonight, and other colleagues like the gentleman from Florida who will be speaking right after me. There is so much passion amongst my colleagues for wanting to do the right thing to protect our nation. Understanding that it's a fundamental basic that the United States strengthens our relationships with our allies and treats our enemies for exactly who they are. I used the analogy a couple weeks ago of playing Texas Hold'em, and the president inherits pocket aces every time he sits down at the table. The Iranians may inherit the 7-2 offsuit, the worst hand that you could possibly have in poker. And the president, for whatever reason, as a negotiating style, will offer to switch hands. We saw it in Cuba, where dozens of good faith concessions were made, asking for nothing in return. Why is that? For one, the president isn't a very good negotiator. He still has a year and a half left on his second term in office, and I want him to strengthen his hand. He has it. He inherits it. That's what comes from the President of the United States. That's what he signed up for. And what did we sign up for here in the halls of Congress? Is to hold this president's feet to the fire if he chooses to sign a bad deal with Iran. I thank again the gentlewoman from Florida for her leadership. Looking forward to hearing Mr. Yoho and his passionate words to follow. And I would encourage the President, Secretary Kerry, the leaders of the Obama administration to do the right thing, take a walk, strengthen your hand, and don't sell out America's goodwill. I yield back.